I want to talk to you right now about dating in Ghana. People always want to know, what is it like dating in Ghana? Well, there are 5 things that you need to know if you want to be dating in Ghana. Number 1, you should know that cultural sensitivity is a huge deal. Taking your time to learn about cultural norms, learning about expectations in Ghana, respecting traditional values. These things are highly regarded in Ghana. So if you are coming from another country and you're coming to Ghana and you meet somebody, you can do a lot for yourself by learning a little bit about the cultural nuances, because this can make or break you in a relationship, because they may have some expectation that you don't even know anything about. So it's important to take the time to learn about cultural differences and cultural understandings so that you know what the expectations may be. And then number 2, communication. Communication styles of Ghanaians is different than somebody who may be coming from abroad. Ghanaians tend to like to be polite. They may not be as direct as Nigerians may be. They may try to be a little bit more sensitive in conversations, and it might come across as not being clear because they're trying to be considerate, they're trying to be nice, they're trying to be friendly to avoid confrontation. So sometimes it's important that you ask specific questions, because sometimes if you don't ask the specific question, you won't get the answer that you want. And so when you don't get the answers that you want, or the answers that you know, there's misunderstanding, miscommunication. Next thing you know, you're like fighting. So like, what do you mean? So it's very, very important that you have good communication with that person, and understanding the way that they communicate, because sometimes, just thinking, for example, and I mean, it happens in daily life, not just maybe asking something like, okay, the person says that they're on their way. Ghanaians will say they're on their way. A Ghanaian will understand when they say, I'm on my way, I'm on the way, I'm on the way. They may not have even left their house, okay? A Ghanaian will know that. If a person says, oh, I'm on the way, I'm on the way, I'm on my way coming, a Ghanaian person will know this person is probably just getting in their car, or they might be just taking a shower to get ready to come. But if you're coming from like the States or from Canada or something, and you tell someone, oh, I'm on my way, you're actually on your way. You're actually in the car or on the bus, on the train, whatever it is, you're actually on the way to the destination. But somebody in Ghana might not actually be on the way. No. So you may want to ask specific questions. Like what I do now, I'm like, when they say on the way, I'm like, okay, so you're on the way. Does that mean you're actually in the car on the way? Does that mean you're still in the house, you're just putting your shoes on? Does that mean you're almost here? So it's like asking specific questions. So communication is very key, so you don't have misunderstanding. Number three, this one affects a lot of men. In Ghana, financial expectations in dating. So when people are dating, men and women dating, the financial expectations, a lot of women in Ghana have an expectation that the man is taking care of everything. And somebody coming from, Western European society may not be used to it. They may be used to people who might say, let's go Dutch, splitting the bill, that kind of stuff. Whereas a Ghanaian woman will be like, what do you mean? I'm paying. What do you mean? They're expecting the man to take care of everything. And I have met guys who've moved here from the States and started dating some Ghanaian women, and they're like, it's too much, it's too much, it's too much. They don't want to, they're not used to it. But I mean, I'm always like, it's like a chivalry thing. But I think in modern day society, there's a lot of people who are not doing it the way they used to. I don't see an issue with a man deciding that he wants to take care of a woman when they're dating, when he's courting her. So the whole idea of courtship and stuff. Anyway, that is something that can be hard for some of the guys to know when they come to Ghana, and if they're starting to date Ghanaian born and bred women. And then on the other hand, there's also women coming from abroad who are like, they love it. They love that the men, they don't have to ask them to do some of these things. They love that the men take care of them. They love that some of the men are, they're taken care of as much as possible. So have the discussion about what the expectations are, so that you know before you come together. I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but I'm just telling you that in Ghana, oftentimes there's the expectation that the man is the one who's going to be taking care of everything, and the woman is being taken care of. It is an expectation that some people have. So I just think you should know when you are jumping into the dating scene in Ghana, okay? I hope that this is helping some of you when you're dating in Ghana. Number four, when you're dating in Ghana, know that family and community involvement is a big deal. So, for example, I know of people who, especially once you get married, a lot of times the family and the community is involved in supporting the relationship, whether it's through counsel or through, giving advice or whatever. It's up to you to ultimately to make the decision that you want it to be just the two of you and not having any meddling in your relationship. But when it comes to family and community involvement, so for example, this is where sometimes the cultural stuff comes in. So somebody might not be supportive of a relationship because they may feel like you don't have an understanding of cultural expectations. Also, one of the things in Ghana is you still have a tradition of, a lot of times there's still tradition of people going to the families before they get married, a man going to the person's father, the woman's father, before making the decision to get married, and involving the family when they do that. So knowing that the family is, and the community is important to people, they take that seriously. So if you are dating someone in Ghana, from Ghana, know that you will have to be part of knowing that somebody's gonna, one person or the other may be finding it's important to have the family involved or taking advice from family when it comes to the relationship. So know that that could potentially be a challenge for some people. And then finally, number 5, take your time. Take your time, because relationships in Ghana, sometimes it can go fast. It can go faster than what you're used to. It can go faster than, it'll be like a whirlwind. It'll be like a movie, like when you see movies like how Stella got her groove back and stuff, and it's like you meet somebody and then within a couple of weeks, you're like, oh, I'm in love. And then you're like, I want to marry this person. I want to pack up my bags. I moved to Ghana. I was here on holidays and I met the person. Now I want to move. Take your time. Take your time, my sister. Take your time, my brother. Take your time. Get to know the person. Get to know if they really want to be with you, because you don't want any miscommunications. This isn't the case for everyone, but sometimes there's people who are looking for someone just because they want someone from the diaspora. I get comments in my inbox as well from people, especially on TikTok, guys who send me messages saying, I'm looking for somebody to marry from the diaspora. Ivy, can you connect me to some ladies from the diaspora? Because I want to marry someone from the diaspora. Why do you want to marry somebody from the diaspora? Why is that your target? It should just be you want to meet someone. It shouldn't be just because they're from the diaspora. So take your time when you're meeting someone to make sure that they're genuine. They're genuine and really love you, really want to be with you, really want to get to know you, because you could get taken advantage of. So just take your time. Thank you for joining the chat. Thank you, Francis, for your support through the channel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. David says, I don't believe in relationships. It's not for everyone, right? It's not for everyone. But a lot of people want to be with somebody. A lot of people want a partner. A lot of people want to spend time with someone, whether it's for a short term or for the long term or a lifetime. There's a lot of people who do want relationships, but I understand if you don't believe in them, because heartbreak, miscommunication, drama is something that some people don't want in their life. They want peace because they've had situations and they feel like relationships just bring on the drama. But I think a lot of times we get drama because we choose the wrong people, or we move too quickly, and sometimes life circumstances ends up changing the relationship. Sometimes a relationship can be an amazing relationship, and then something happens that causes it to fall apart. Sometimes circumstances happen, you know? I don't know how many of you are watching right now that are, let's say you're from the diaspora and you've come to Ghana and you've been dating, or you're from Ghana and then you moved to the diaspora and you've come back and now you're dating, or you're a Ghanaian here, or you're from somewhere else and you're living here, because there's a lot of Nigerians that live here. I've met people from Togo who live here. Like maybe you're living here and you're dating somebody here. You know, there's always the challenges when it comes to relationships. I think also it's very important that you define and know what is your goal. That's my bonus point. What is your goal in the relationship? You should know, like, pretty early in the beginning. It doesn't mean like you start grilling and questioning them on the first date, but it does mean that you should have some idea of exactly what it is that you want. Because sometimes people are dating for fun, and sometimes people are dating because they actually want to get married. And you don't want your time to be wasted if you're the person who wants to get married and the other person just wants to have fun. That's the last thing that you want. I know that I had gone on some dates with someone that I really, really liked. I really liked this guy. And then he ended up telling me that he could see that I'm a serious person, that I wanted to get serious. He just, you know, he wasn't ready. He's not planning to get ready for another 5 years or whatever. And so it is what it is. That's life, right? I'm glad that he saved me that time, because otherwise it would have been a waste of my time if he kept pretending as if he does want something when he really didn't. You know, so it's very important that it is clear and that you're honest. I think that a lot of times people jump into things and they mislead. They'll make you think they want something and they don't. It's very, very important that you are honest not only with yourself, but with that person. Because time in this earth is short. Life is short. You know, we think we have another day all the time, but it's a blessing every time we wake up the next day. It is a blessing every time you wake up the next day. So, human beings, we want human connection. And in getting human connection, it means sometimes having a life partner, or it means having good friends. So, I think that it's very, very important to be honest with yourself and with that person if you really want to be with them or not. And you may not know if you want something long-term, and you be honest, you know what, I like you, I like spending time with you, we're having a great time, but I'm not really sure where this is going, right? Then that person can make a decision. Okay, all right, this person has told me, let me listen. And ladies, my ladies out there, my fellow sisters, okay? Advice from big sis to little sis, or maybe not big sis, maybe little sis to big sis, depending on the age. We make the mistake, we ladies, of always being like giving guys excuses. We make mistakes. We sit there and we'll be like, oh, you know, he said that he doesn't want to do this until, you know, maybe another 5 to 10 years before blah, blah, blah. Ask yourself, my sister, do you want to wait 5 to 10 years? Do you have 5 to 10 years to wait for my brother? And brothers, there are women who do this too. There are women who will say they're not ready yet, they want to wait, blah, blah, blah. Is she ready? Are you ready now and she's not ready? And then sometimes we have a problem with too many options, okay? We live in a world now where there's so many dating apps, so many opportunities to meet people, that sometimes you might meet somebody who's good for you, and then you decide, you know what? What if I meet someone else? What if there's someone else? What if there's someone else better? Let me keep this one in my back pocket. Let me keep this one in my back pocket until I find someone else and see, is that one good? If that one's good, then okay, let me go here. And then you're like, no, this one's not good. Let me go back to the one in my back pocket. No, man. We shouldn't be treating people like they're like it's a chess game, man. It's like, These are human beings with real feelings. And what ends up happening is people end up with traumas, and they take those traumas to the next relationship, and then they're treating people bad. Oh, it's awful. Yeah. So in the comment section, I have Imade Favor who says, good day, everyone. Hello. Rima says, hello. I hope I didn't say this wrong. Meziragbo, I hope I said it right, said, I love Christian girls. Vincent Owusu says, most of the guys are gold diggers. Fred says, hi Ivy, hi Fred. Kedra says, nice. Thank you, Kedra, for being here. Francis says, what is the real population of Nigerians living in Ghana? Is it up to 1 million? I don't know the actual number. I just know there's a lot of Nigerians in Ghana. And they're actually the number 2 group of people who come to Ghana as tourists. Next to Americans, Nigerians are number 2. But I don't know the exact number. I do know they have a chief that's living in Ghana as well. Imade Favor says, good talk, thank you. I'm being asked if I'm married. No, I'm not. I'm looking for a husband though. I got my stipulations on that. I am looking for a husband. Yes. I've been looking for one for a long time. I've just not had any success. So that's what it is. Fred, thank you so much for supporting this channel. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. He says, I totally agree. Life is super short. Please, we dump the guy if he's been dating you 5 years. Dude does not want to commit. Trust me. Thank you for that advice. You see that? This is coming from a man. This is coming from a man. A lot of these guys waste our time, ladies. They waste our time. But we also have to take a little bit of responsibility because sometimes we allow the time to be wasted because we have hope. We do. I mean, I've been in the situation, I've been with people for many years and then thinking it's going to end up one way and then it doesn't end up the way I thought it was going to. So yes, sometimes I think that a lot of times guys know very quickly if they really want to be with someone. But I also understand that in life there are some circumstances that change things. I've known of stories where someone ends up getting a job somewhere, they move somewhere else, and it's like there's all these different things that happen in relationships that cause different challenges. So thank you so much for that, Fred. I really appreciate your contribution to this conversation. We have so many experiences. Someone says, where's the best place to meet older men, 55 plus? That is a good question, because what I notice is there's a lot of guys who, like a lot of the younger guys, I meet a lot of younger guys because I'm out in, I go out to different events, and because of being a content creator, there tends to be a lot of young people in the content creator space. But what I would say is, guys who are over 55, business conferences. Go to business conferences something that's of interest to you. Don't just randomly show up because you're like, I'm here to meet a man. But business conferences are places where you meet matured men who, are doing something because they're at a business conference for a reason. But you should also go to those conferences that are of interest to you. Don't just go because you're trying to find a man, because you also have to have interest in the topic that is at hand, the discussion that's happening. So I would say business conferences. What else? Some people will go to church. Some people will meet people at church. It is a place to meet people if it's of your faith, because of your faith, you know that you have the same belief system and you don't necessarily have a clash because you don't have someone who doesn't believe the same thing. So church is a place that people can meet. And then at church, you're more likely to know if a person's married or not. I mean, not 100% because people do lie still, but you're more likely, if somebody's a member of a church, a lot of people will know the guy's hut and the guy if he's married and stuff. Because there are guys out there who will be out there looking for women and they are married. And I'm not saying this is just in Ghana. It happens everywhere in the world where married people are dating or they're presenting themselves as single and they're not single. We hear these stories a lot. So, and in Ghana, sometimes it's challenging because there's a lot of Ghanaians who do not wear wedding rings. So you don't even know if they're married. So you can't even rely on saying, I saw or didn't see a ring, because there's a lot of people who do not wear wedding rings, generally speaking. So, especially if they did like a traditional ceremony, the traditional Ghanaian ceremonies, there's a lot of people who won't be wearing a ring. So you can't even use that as as the way. But I would say meeting older men, business conferences, types of things, governmental type of conferences. Like, for example, recently there was the Africa Prosperity Dialogues, and you could meet, like, there could be older people there as well. Someone said, love the necklace. Thank you, thank you. I am so hot. I'm sitting somewhere where there's a window. The sun is like beating. Today was 40 degrees Celsius in Ghana. I think that's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm like super feeling hot right now. The heat is getting to me. Thank you so much, everybody, in the comments. I was talking today about 5 tips for dating in Ghana. And it's bringing up conversation. Tora says, I've been in Accra twice and only meet younger men. Yes, I'm always meeting younger men too. It's always younger men, because the other thing is, what I'll say too is, it's harder meeting older men in Ghana as well. Let me get my handkerchief. So in Ghana, whenever it's hot like this and you're sweating, you've got to have something with you to dab the sweat, you see? Because I used to be like, why is it that none of the Ghanaians are sweating? I'm sweating so much. When I moved here, I remember 2011, 12, 13, I'd be like, I'm always like hot. And everybody looks like they're like completely like, then I realized everybody was like carrying a handkerchief in their pocket or something, and then I would catch them and they're like drying off. So yeah. Anyway, yes, back to what I was saying. There's a tendency to meet a lot of younger men, because a lot of younger men are on the prowl looking for their future spouse. And a lot of the older men are already married, okay? Because in Ghana, there's culturally, people tend to marry earlier. Living in Canada and having lived in the US for a period of my life, a lot of people would, their goal is getting married. So it's like they're trying to find a spouse. They're dating to find a spouse. Whereas I find that there's a lot of, in North America, I can speak from that context, there's a lot of people dating just for the sake of dating. They're dating, it's just fun. They're just dating, and they're not dating with the intention that they want to get married. Whereas here, I find that people date with the intention that they're looking for a wife, they're looking for a husband, because they want to have kids, they want to start a family. And also, culturally speaking, in a lot of business environments, some businesses look at somebody more seriously if they're married. They think a man is responsible when he's married and he has a child. And so sometimes people, they're quick to get married. So usually by the time people are 30, you are seeing me back. Can you see me back? It says reconnecting. I hope that I'm back now. Yeah, one of the things you deal with the internet here is, the internet just suddenly going. So I hope that you're hearing me. Please let me know if you're hearing me. Are you hearing me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Let me know in the comments if I'm back. If I'm back, let me know, because I don't know. It says that I'm live again, and I want to make sure that y'all can see me. You can see me because it said reconnecting, and then it went off, and then I was like, oh, is it going to come back? Is it going to come back? Okay, great. You said you see and hear me. Fantastic. Now I'm trying to even remember what I was saying last. Oh, I was saying that people get married early, so they're already married. So it makes it really difficult to meet the older ones, because the older ones are already married, most of them. So what you find is there's very few men who are over 50 who are single, or they might be divorced. And then in that case, some of the ones who are divorced, they're not looking for anything serious because they've been in a serious marriage before, and now they just kind of want to break. So then you'll see the older guys with young girls, because the young girls may not be wanting something serious. So it becomes this cycle. So it becomes challenging to meet somebody older in Ghana. So that's one of the things that I agree. I often meet a lot of younger guys. A lot of younger guys are always interested in me, but it's something that I'm used to, and it's happened to me most of my life. Even when I was younger, I always attracted younger guys. Always attracted guys who are younger than me, because they think I'm younger than I actually am. So thank you everybody who's been here. I want to recap what I had started at the beginning, which was giving the 5 tips of dating in Ghana. So if you watch the replay, you can catch that, where I talk about, number one, cultural identity and cultural understanding being the key in a relationship, because knowing about cultural differences and understanding cultural differences, wanting to learn about cultural things, because sometimes not sometimes, a lot of the time, culture is very important to people in Ghana and in the African continent in general. A lot of people want to maintain something about their cultural heritage. Number two, communication style is very important. It's very important, because the way someone communicates, you might say one thing, they may say something else, and then there's a lack of understanding, which can cause a rift in the dating period or in the relationship. Even the way you express yourselves, because there are phrases that are used in other countries that may not be used here, that someone might not understand, or there are things that Ghanaians will say that you don't say, words that are used differently, and it might be misconstrued or misunderstood. Like, I remember somebody was saying, why am I slanging? Why are you slanging? And I'm like, slanging? What are you talking about, slanging? The word slang is actually about slang. It's actually about like certain words and catchphrases that are used. But in Ghana, people will use the word slang to describe an accent. Yeah, they use the word slang to describe an accent. Why are you slanging your words? I'm just looking outside. I think somebody's coming. I may have to unlock the door. I'm gonna wrap up this live very soon, because I think I have somebody coming. Yes, somebody is coming. I need to unlock the door. So let me wrap this up. So I was saying, number two was communication style. Number three, financial expectations. People have financial expectations. Oftentimes the men are the ones who pay for everything. Women expect the men to pay for everything. So there's financial expectations. Number four, family and community involvement is very important. And then number five, take your time. Get to know the person. Get to know their culture. Get to know their family. Take your time. All right? Thank you so much for watching today. I know we had an interruption because of the internet going off, but that is my discussion today about relationships, dating in Ghana. Put your thoughts in the comments. I'm going off this live now. Put your thoughts in the comments. If you want to support this channel, tap the $ in the bottom and do a super chat to support. I thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank ya. We'll talk soon. Bye for now.